moving down, guys, please. Keep moving down. Keep moving down. Fill in all that available space. Keep moving down. Play an important role in action films. It's here that the explosive, out of control mayhem you see in movies like The Rock, Crimson Tide, and Pearl Harbor, well, that can all be created by using large-scale physical and mechanical effects. The action is then filmed as a carefully planned out sequence of events. Now today we're going to be filming our very own action sequence. We're calling it Harbor Attack, and we're going to be using many of the same special effects directors like Michael Bay use in their big name action films. Now if you turn your attention up to those overhead monitors, here's Michael to help set up our scene for us.
In this scene, Provo is on a surveillance mission.
Up to 100 pounds per square inch bullet hits that have to be programmed and timed to match the continuity of the visuals and then eventually the pattern of the sound effects. Now the last and most important effect we're going to be using today is fire, and that must be ignited at a precise moment, because it takes a lot of time and work to set charges for an explosion like that one. Of course, our #1 priority in the timing and use of all of our special effects, well, that's always the safety of our crew and our cast on set. That's where you come in. Everybody, this is Ari. Say hi, Ari. Ari's been chosen to play the mechanic today, and sir, your scene is very important, and it's going to take place all the way down at the bottom of that PT boat, underneath the water, in the engine room of the boat. Luckily for you, no swimming involved. Just follow Kyle. He'll get you set up for your scene. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be filming 2 scenes today here at the water tank, but not in the order that they appear in the script. Now, most movies today are filmed out of sequence. That means sometimes actors have to react to certain situations that have not been filmed yet. That can be a pretty big challenge, but it's my job as director to help them find the proper motivation for their scene. Ari, are you ready? All right, this is the plan now, okay? That phone's gonna buzz just before 800 gallons of water dump from those tanks fly down that chute and slam into you like a freight train. You feeling motivated to hang on? Okay, that's good enough, because between you and me, everybody, it's a little bit more like 1,000 gallons of water. We find there's a fine line between motivation and fear. Let's roll playback. Okay, Ari, remember, you've lost your engines, okay? And action, that's right. Pick up that phone. Talk to the captain. Let him know the engines are failing, and you think you might take on a little bit of water. Keep talking, Art, keep talking, and cut. Let's give him a big round of applause. That's what we call a physical effect. All right, that was brilliant acting in that scene, okay? For your next acting challenge, all I want you to do is just sit there and act dry. That's a tough one. We'll give him a minute to work on. Now we're going to take that shot, we're going to insert it into the next, and then we're going to see how it all ties together in our final sequence. Our next setup takes place on the deck of our PT boat. Let's meet our brave crew now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand to Captain Carmen and her wild and wacky deckhand, Chris.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, let's roll playback. Remember, everybody, we're on a routine surveillance mission today, okay? And action. Captain, go ahead. That's right. Grab those binoculars. Scan the skies. You're looking around for enemy fighter planes. Great work, deck crew. I want to see you get that boat spotless. Uh-oh, crew. There's some of those enemy fighters. They're moving fast. That's right, deck crew. You're panicked. You're frightened. You're scared. You're in trouble. That enemy plane's found you. And he's coming back for another run. Great work, Captain. Spin that wheel. Get that pizza. Oh, but you weren't quite fast enough, Captain. That enemy plane took out the engine. So, you're on the phone talking to the mechanic while the deck crew, yeah, that's right. There's something moving fast over there, guys. I think you better warn the captain. It looks like it is. It's the enemy torpedo. All right, crew. You start to relax. You think it's all over, but that's when you spot them. It's a fleet of fast-moving enemy bombers coming in from 12 o'clock. Point to the skies and yell bombs away. Everybody hit the deck. Congratulations, crew. You have survived the aerial attack, but it's not over yet. 2 torpedoes are in the water moving fast for your stern. Luckily for you, they're passing underneath and heading for the audience. Guys, point to the audience and warn them. Tell everybody to look out, look out. And cut. Let's give them a big round of applause.
You on the shuttle. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Backlot tour.
Hey. You know, that might be a glass full person. Yes. Our kid rock. Got to score the winning goal.
See, this is Timothy Green. Look.
What is mine?
Timothy Green, look.
For those of you who are dog, please take down their shoes, stay behind the yellow line, not on top of them, not over, but behind it for your safety. Until the show comes to a complete and full stop, and the cast member on board will let you know when it's time to board. Thank you.
Mom, Dad.
Give up. You know, that might be a glass full person.
Here come those doors. Please wait for safety above your heads. Once again, stay behind that yellow line. The doors are above your head. Once they are, welcome aboard. Watch your head and steps. Filling all the available.
As a Florida counterpart to the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. We included sound stages, recording studios, high-tech editing rooms, all the tools needed to create movies, TV shows, and radio broadcasts. We've even got our very own water tower, too. It's up ahead, high in the sky on the left side of our shuttle. We call it the Earful Tower. It's inspired by the water tower Walt Disney had built for his Burbank studio in 1939. Our Florida tower stands a lucky 13 stories high, and we added our own creative touch, a giant set of Mickey Mouse ears. If you wanted to wear those ears, you'd have to have a hat size of 342 and 3/8. Up ahead, after the next bend in the road, you'll have a perfect opportunity to take a picture of this famous icon. In the world of entertainment, every project starts with a screenplay and a lot of creative ideas. A production studio is where the ideas of writers, producers, and directors are transformed into an on-screen reality. Within these huge spaces, filmmakers can literally create their own world. Our Florida sound stages are soundproof, weatherproof, and most importantly, air-conditioned. All vitally important for the cast, crew, and equipment. Many of the crafts needed for filmmaking are located right here on the lot. On the left, we have our own greens department. It grows flowers, trees, shrubs, and topiaries. A few well-placed plants can cover up empty spots in the set and add a touch of natural beauty to a scene. On the right are two of the aircraft from the 2001 blockbuster hit Pearl Harbor. These exact full-scale replicas of P-40 fighters were used in the special effect fight sequences. Of course, many of the planes you saw flying through the aerial battles or sitting on the ground weren't real at all. They were created entirely within a computer. Oh, keep your cameras focused to the right. We're coming up on that perfect angle of the Eiffel Tower I told you about. It's a true masterpiece. Working wardrobe department in the world. Why, Mickey Mouse alone has over 175 different outfits to choose from, while Minnie Mouse keeps more than 200 unique costumes in her wardrobe. On the left are costumes worn by the stars in recent studio productions. You'll probably recognize some of these costumes from the big screen. Every story needs a setting, and our design staff can create just about any place the script calls for, from an urban city street to a remote desert canyon. On the left is our scenic shop, where large mission control, all on our sound stages. The shop also provides sets and props for our shows and parades here at Walt Disney World. The same skill and craftsmanship that goes into a movie set can also be used to create magic for our parks. Either way, it's all about making dreams come true. Special effects shots. Large-scale models create a more convincing illusion on camera. We even place small cutout passengers in the windows of the plane. We are now passing by the sets of our Lights, Motors, Action Extreme stunt show. On the left, you may catch a glimpse of the Mediterranean fishing village that sets the stage for this thrilling attraction. We'll get a closer look at it soon, but for now, we're approaching one of the largest standing sets on our backlot. It's over on the right. It may not look like much from this angle, but it's pretty spectacular on the other side. Great, folks. The production crew has just given us clearance to enter the set.
Hello, Backlot Tour. I'm Amy, a production coordinator here at the studios. I can see your shuttle heading towards crew, and we're getting ready to shoot a test sequence.
used to say, it was all started by a mouse. In this case, the 234 Mickey Mouse. On our right, we once again sweep past the magnificent Mediterranean village of our Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. This high-octane attraction is based on the hit show from the Walt Disney Studios Park in France. In this action-packed production, you'll feel like you're right there on the set during the filming of a spy thriller, complete with custom-built cars, motorcycles, even jet skis. You'll experience the split-second timing, coordinated driving, and fiery special effects that make action movies a real blast. This staging area to our right is known as Acceleration Alley. Here, the custom-built stunt show vehicles rev their engines up to 70 miles per hour before making their high-speed entrances onto the stage for our Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. Custom parts and given a whole new color scheme. You might not even recognize them the next time you see them on screen. For instance, coming up is our friend Herbie the Love Bug. He went through a special demolition derby makeover. Those dents and dings were added on purpose, but he can be polished up as good as new for his next starring role. On our right, we now have a very different view of the fishing village set. From this point of view, you can see that there is no inside to the buildings. They are just false fronts, or facades. In the movie business, set builders only create what the camera has to see. It's an old movie trick dating all the way back to the silent era. To add to the sense of realism and avoid the cost of set building, many of today's television shows and movies film on location in cities and towns across the U.S. But out in the real world, you've got to contend with noise, traffic, and crowds, and various visual elements that may or may not belong in your film. Here on the Backlot, we can avoid those problems because we created our very own flexible urban environment. Our Streets of America facades can stand in for a small town or a giant metropolis. As we come around the last corner on our route, you'll see the skyline of New York City in the distance. It's really a series of painted flats, expertly designed to fool the eye and the camera. We can dress and decorate these streets to look like any city we want, from Chicago to San Francisco. Depending on the choice of vehicles, props, and costumes, we can even turn back the clock and set our story in a different time. And what's more, these sets are built with Florida weather in mind. They're made to withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds. You're welcome to visit our Streets of America any time during your visit today and get an up-close look at the skills of our set designers and builders. That may have fallen during our trip. Well, as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining our Backlot here.
I'll take
Awesome.
Apprentice to the set.
Yeah, I just took the Star Wars ones again, and I'm just taking a video of everything.
Michael has the camera.
Michael. Oh no, content.
What one?
The witch.
No.
It's both witches?
Well, I don't know. I can't see.
I said I think it's both witches.
Look, aliens. Right there.
No, stand back.
Don't take your sword.
Alex, you've seen the organ. Much of the character of Baby's face comes from the sense of history these details suggest. Baby's facial animation system is extensive. Modelers created hundreds of controls for the animators to use in order to convey the subtlety and complexity of the face. Special care was given to the eyes, as this is where the attention of the audience is most often focused. The procedural approach was required to bring to life the 4610
Yeah, back here.
The tentacles needed to collide with one another, react to forces, and have a sense. The level of realism important that the acting was explained. We represented faithfully this reason, on-set motion capture.
I go for this.